All right, guys, I want to welcome you to tonight's live stream. I am actually just getting off of work and heading home. I just completed, I think I have one more day of field training with Echelon Protective Services. This is a new security company that I'm working with, also doing content creation for, but I thought it'd be a really good idea to come on and just kind of give you guys a breakdown of what field training has been like this week, because it's a completely different animal than what I'm used to. And I really think that for the most part, it's a completely different animal than what most private security guards are used to. So I want to share with you guys kind of what we've gone through and what we've done. I think that it's very, very interesting. So last week, you guys saw some of the videos that I put up. Let me back up. Echelon Protective Services is a security company that's based here out of Portland. They do a ton of different things. Primarily, they offer security services in downtown and another area that's called Old Town. Old Town is one of the hardest hit areas of downtown Portland. A large demographic of homeless people, a large demographic of people suffering from a lot of problems, and a lot of the properties that are in Old Town have kind of been abandoned, left behind since COVID. And then those businesses that are still there, they are dealing with all the issues that are downtown. So that's kind of a brief background of kind of what we're working with. So last week I put up some videos of the classroom portion. When you begin working for this company, they put you through a 2-week academy. The first week is all classroom instruction. And what was great about the classroom instruction was that you got everything from your basic information in terms of doing private security. But they also added, thanks buddy. They also added medical, they added emergency response, a lot of things that are often missed when it comes to private security and what people need, not just to be successful, but to be safe. So you do that for the first week. And then the second week, which is where I'm at right now, you do an FTO program, very similar to what you would do if you were working in law enforcement. You're riding with different officers. Each day this week, I've been with a different officer. The cool thing about this company is that one day you're in, a lot of the city is broken up into districts. So you have so many districts that are in kind of say like a bad area of Portland. And then you have, so many districts that are in more of the upscale areas of Portland. And so every day this week, I've been with a different officer in a different location doing different things. Today, I was in Old Town. I was in Old Town on Sunday, I think. Yesterday, we were on like a riverfront area. All of the shifts and all of the locations, you have access to a vehicle, a company vehicle. But when you get to your locations, you're doing foot patrols. I think I put in 7 miles today. I put in over 8 or 9 miles yesterday and about 6 or 7 miles on Sunday. So from a health standpoint, this is a much better situation for me, because where I was working before, it was a pretty much static site. I patrolled the location, I responded to calls for service within that site, but it was still static. For the most part, you're working the door, you're working ingress and egress and all that kind of stuff. So, just getting in 5 to 6 miles or more over the last 3 days, that's a huge change, a huge difference, right? Another thing is that when you're patrolling these areas, you have certain areas that you have to hit, like no different than any other patrol security company. You have certain locations and sites that you have to hit so many times by a certain time. But then while you're in that area, anything that you come across, you're addressing and you're dealing with if it's on a property that, you know, you guys have access to or you're contracted by. On top of that, you're in a position where dispatch is sending you problem incidents that you need to respond to. So it's, I don't want to say what I'm going to say. I don't mean to say this at all to come off like the company is doing something more than what it's doing. But we're in an area where, you know, there's a police presence, there's a sheriff's department presence. We saw multiple arrests. There was some sort of sting or bust that was going on with Multnomah County where they were making quite a few arrests down in Old Town today. But by all intents and purposes, we're doing the aspect of policing that they've stopped doing, the community policing aspect. For the past, you know, 8 decades, law enforcement officers have walked the beat, so to speak, in their town, in their neighborhoods, getting to know the people, getting to know the business owners, getting to know the you know, nefarious aspects of the people that are in that area. That's what law enforcement did. They worked a district, they worked a beat. They walked around, they were out there in the elements. They were out there, rain, sleet, snow, shine, dealing with whatever they came across, and then also responding to what they were dispatched. And that's what we're doing. And it's interesting because we're literally in an area where you see the police officers, you see the sheriff's department, but they're responding and doing things that are at a much higher level, but that leaves a large part of policing, community policing, that's not being addressed. And that's the gap that this company is filling. I don't know of any other security companies in the Portland area that are doing this to this level. I don't think that now is the time to go into some of the emergency things that our officers respond to, some of the things that they were involved in just this past weekend. But it's not like any other company that's operating in the greater Portland area. It's different. It's different in a lot of ways. Now, I want to talk about this. Clearly, I have this YouTube channel. I've had this YouTube channel for, you know, over 4 years. It's not a large channel, but by security guard standards, it's a pretty big channel, right? I pride myself on being an instructor. I pride myself on being an educator, right? But coming into this environment, the people that are already working for this company, there are some seriously educated, knowledgeable, and strong in terms of their abilities to do private security. There's some really dialed in, squared away people. And coming into this environment, I really feel this need to prove myself. I feel this need to like gain trust and gain respect. I've done a lot of talking on this channel. I've done a lot of teaching and educating on this channel. And it's fair to say that when I'm coming into this environment, people are like, all right, let's see what you got. I think that the second week of training, the amount of miles that we put in walking, the types of things that we're seeing on the street, the types of people that we're addressing, the situations that you find yourself in, I think that it's difficult for a lot of people. It's difficult for a lot of people who aren't built for it. But then aside from that, it's easy for people who are maybe in security for the wrong reasons to get themselves in trouble. So this is just an amazing opportunity. And again, I'm not saying any of this to gas up the company. I'm not. I'm coming to you guys with a completely objective viewpoint, because even though I've been closely associated with the owners of this company, I haven't been over here and I haven't worked for them for over 4 years. So I'm coming into this, the company has grown exponentially. The company has started, you know, branches in other states. There's over 100 employees. I think when I was first working with these guys back in 2020, 2021, you know, their number of employees was in the teens. They have a media arm of their company. They have a production arm of their company. They've got the security. They've got an AI form of the company. There's a lot of different irons in the fire and a lot going on. And it's fascinating to see. And it's inspiring, man. Like I'm not lying when I say this, guys. Like I've always been passionate for security. I've always been really excited about building up the industry and building up the guards and helping to make this a better career for people. I feel really good about making this decision to switch over to this company. I really, really do. And I say that with 110% no hesitation. And there's some really good people over here. And when I say good people, I'm talking like just dialed in security guards. One thing that I'm interested to find out, and I don't have an answer for myself or for you, I don't know what or how much I can show you guys. And that's going to be my next conversation with the owner, because there's so much that I think could benefit not just the people that are on this platform, but the people that we're trying to bring to the other platform. A lot of what we do on a day-to-day basis, that information, those contacts with people, those interactions with people on the street could be so beneficial to the private security industry, because I really don't think that most people have a clue what it is that we deal with here out in Portland. It's so different. It's so different. And I think that that's the missing link to changing how security guards see themselves and how people see the industry, is that those that I've shared that are highly produced by the production team with Echelon for the Ride Along podcast, for Body Cam, the stuff that you're seeing is like a sanitized version of us walking through downtown. If we were to take that camera and just turn it left or right, you would see the things that we actually are dealing with. And I think that that is what is going to be the meat potatoes excuse me, of changing the view of private security. But I don't know how much of that we were able to show you guys. So I just wanted to share that with you. My experience over this last week. I have another day of field training, and then I get released, hopefully. I'm assuming. And then I'll be working on my own. But you're wearing a radio, you're getting, you're coming in the morning. This is another thing. I haven't worked for a company where the security guards actually come to one location before they're dispatched out. Most security companies, you work for company A and you get your shirt, you go through your training if there is any training, and then you get your schedule, and every single day you wake up, you drive right to your location. We actually have a home office. So first thing in the morning, you're doing basically like a shift brief, you know what I mean? You're coming in, everybody's coming in at the same time, everybody's gearing up, you're grabbing your radio, you're grabbing your car keys, you're grabbing any of your equipment that you need, and then you're going out into your districts. And then once you're in those districts, you're in constant communication with dispatch, you're hitting these sites and doing your tasks, and while you're doing that, you're being called off to go do this and break off and go help this person. Oh, there's an emergency over here, this officer needs backup. It's every bit of experiencing what it's like to be moving in this way that is so similar to law enforcement. I hate to keep saying that, but there's no other way to articulate it, because that's really what you're doing, is like a low-level community policing style of operating. I'm kind of thinking out loud here. At the end of each day, your field training officer go over their daily observation of you, what they see from you, how they see you interacting. There's an entire list that they're checking off and going over. I was lucky enough that yesterday I was with one officer. I was with him again today. So the things that he saw, the things that he, viewed with me, he was able to say, hey, look, this is what I want to see tomorrow. These are some things I want you to think about. And then today I was able to come in and, make those adjustments, make those changes, and hopefully get a better report from him, which I think I did. I think that this is a really good model. The training that we did last week, the field training experience that we have now this week, I think it's an amazing model. I hope that somewhere down the line, they take what they're doing with training and they put that out for other companies and other officers. If you're a security guard in any area of Portland or Oregon, and if you're a security guard in any state, you would benefit from the training, the information, and the way that they're doing things. I'm hopeful that one day they'll dial it in and they'll make this academy something that guards from anywhere and everywhere can attend. I don't know if that's what they want to do, but from someone who's gone through it and someone who advocates for something like this needing to happen, I think that would be awesome for them. So who knows? But I'm just saying, as somebody who's watching from the outside, I think it would be awesome if we were able to offer this across the board. So, all right, let me see if there's anything I need to address. Matthew West, I appreciate you. He says you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Just got an interview with Transit Public Safety. Okay. Best of luck to you, Matthew. You're a good guy, bro. Someone asked what city I'm in. I'm in Portland, Oregon. And someone has another comment that I can't read because I am currently focused on the road. All right, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please put them in the comment section and I will address them. If you have any thoughts about what I've talked about today, I would love to hear that as well. And I'm off tomorrow and I'm off on Thursday, and I will be making my weekly content for you guys. My schedule is so much different now. I'm getting off at a decent time. I'm really trying to focus on spending time with my wife and getting my classes and my jiu-jitsu classes. Someone says, how's the jiu-jitsu going? Jiu-jitsu's going great. I'm going to make some videos tomorrow talking about my recent developments with jiu-jitsu, but in short, it's going great. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm getting better. I'm a sponge, man. I love it. PBE says, does Echelon have shared powers with police, or are we private police powers? The answer is no. One thing that I should probably say, this company is equal parts social work, security, deterrence, and private property enforcement. In no way are we law enforcement officers or police officers. But what we're doing is so freaking different than any other model. We work in conjunction with our own nonprofit and other nonprofits in the citywide area of Portland. When we come across someone who is experiencing homelessness, we offer services for rehab. We offer services for housing assistance. We have 100 different directions that we can point someone to. When we're dealing with someone who is loitering on property, or someone who is, maybe, struggling with addiction, any of the myriad of issues that you're going to run into when you're dealing with people in this situation, we literally have resources that we can point in their direction or point them towards the resources direction. Guys, one of the things that we're responsible for is providing security for a, how would I describe it? A soup kitchen is not the best word to describe this place, because it's a resource center for people who are suffering from a lot of different issues. But one of the things that this place does is they feed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so our security company is contracted to provide security at this location. It's the things that you see and the things that are going on just outside the building before you even get inside, and then seeing the things that people are dealing with, what they're going through. It's just too much to even get into. I'm still kind of processing everything, and it's a lot. But I will tell you this, if you work for this company, in my opinion, you're not going to feel like you're not doing anything. That is one of the biggest complaints from every private security guard, is that I'm not doing anything. You hear people all the time say, dude, you're just a security guard. We've all heard that. You're just a security guard. You don't have any authority. You don't have any power. And with this company, when you're working, it's not about authority or power to do something to someone. I don't understand why people have this like weird misconception that if you're working as a security guard, that your desire, and maybe this is the case with some people, that your desire is to impose your will on someone. But if you're working for this company, you're doing something. You do have power. You do have authority. The power, the authority, and the ability to do something is to actually affect something. I am not okay with the homeless problem here in Portland. I'm not okay with the drug problem here in Portland. I'm not okay with the fact that there's a slow response to problems and issues here in Portland. So I have one of three things that I can do. I can sit on the sidelines and I can complain, which I'm very good at complaining. I can get into the political arena or the nonprofit arena, or working in the capacity that I'm working in right now, I can actually be out there every single day directly impacting the people that are going through these things, that are causing the problems that I'm not happy with. I can help point someone in the direction of resources. I can get someone's tent moved and get that person into a tiny home. I can get someone into drug recovery. Like when there's a shooting, there's a stabbing, there's a violent assault, I can be there before law enforcement and help triage the person that is potentially going to lose their life before someone gets there. These are all of the things that we're doing. Hear me when I say this. These are all of the things that this company is doing on a daily basis. Not just enforcing loitering policies or telling people to get off the sidewalk, but actually helping to get people into housing, actually helping to get people into rehab, getting people reconnected with their family in different states, triaging someone who's been stabbed or shot. These are the things that we're doing on a daily basis, guys. I don't know what your company is doing. That's what we're doing. And that means something to me. And I'll put what I have done over the last 2 weeks, I'll put that up against what anybody else is doing at their job, including law enforcement in any state other than Portland. Because I guarantee you what these security guards for this company see in a yearly basis far eclipses 90% of the law enforcement officers in most small town middle America places. They don't see or experience what we see and experience here in Portland. When I lived in Missouri and I was offered a job with the local police department in the city where I was at, the small town that I was in, it would have taken me 15 years to see the number of overdose, violent assaults, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, homicides, to see all of that we see here in Portland as security guards. It would have taken me 15 years to see that as a law enforcement officer in the location where I was going to take a job in 2020. And that's real talk, 110. White Fox 703 says, what's up? I wanted to ask your opinion. I've been working an unarmed DOT site for just over a year. Do you think it's likely if I applied that I would be hired to a nuclear power plant security position? I do not know. I think that if you want to work in that environment, you should try. I know 2 people who have worked nuclear security. They trained all the time. They made really good money. They worked a ton of hours and they trained all the time. I knew one person that absolutely loved it, and I knew another person that within the first 3 months could not get out of there fast enough. So it depends on what you want to get out of it. But I think that if that's what you want to do, man, go for it. All right, that's a lot of information. I'm rambling. I'm almost home. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. I've walked a lot. I'm going to have dinner with my beautiful wife. I'm going to rest. I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu in the evening. And I'm going to just enjoy my day off. All right. Y'all have a great night. Be great.